Today we will continue with NMR spectroscopy, and this, what is peak area? Peak area is, as name indicates, it's the area under the peak, or we say the intensity of a particular PMR signal is indicated by the area under that signal. That is, the area under the peak is the peak area, and is directly proportional to the number of identical protons which give rise to that signal. So proton counting is it is directly proportional to the peak area. Greater is the peak area, greater the number of protons giving that signal. So peak area and proton counting are related to each other. So next is spin-spin splitting. Spin-spin splitting is a term that describes the magnetic interactions between neighboring non-equivalent NMR active nuclei. So it is an interaction between the neighboring protons which are not equivalent or which are non-equivalent, and each set of protons generates a single NMR signal. That is, different set of protons give rise to different signals. So in the proton NMR, spectra of most organic compounds contain proton signals that are split into two or more subpeaks, and the splitting of a PMR signal due to the different spin states of the adjacent proton is called the spin-spin coupling or spin-spin splitting. So it is the splitting of a signal due to different spin states of adjacent protons is called spin-spin coupling or spin-spin splitting. And we can easily understand what is spin-spin splitting by the various examples. And peaks are often split into multiple peaks. Why? As we already done, due to magnetic interactions between the non-equivalent protons on adjacent carbons, and this process is spin-spin splitting. Splitting is into more than one peak than the number of hydrogens on the adjacent carbons, and this is according to n+1 rule. So a peak will be split into n+1, that is number of neighboring protons plus 1. If there are one neighboring proton, so signal will be split into 2, and intensity are in proportion of a binomial distribution given by Pascal's triangle, which you will understand further. The set of peaks is called a multiplet. So if a signal is a set of peaks, then it is called multiplet. In a multiplet, that is in a signal, if there are two peaks, then we say it is a doublet. If there are three peaks in a signal, then it is triplet. If four peaks in a signal, then quartet. If five, then pentet or quintet. And if there are six, then sextet. And if seven peaks in a signal, then it is heptet, and so on. So a peak which is split into many, or a set of peaks, is called a multiplet. If it is 2, doublet, 3, triplet, and so on. So if there is a doublet, that is signal is split into 2, or it is split into 3, then the intensity of peaks will be given by a Pascal's triangle, which we will be doing just now. So if there is a multiple peaks due to magnetic interactions between non-equivalent protons on adjacent carbons, then it is called a spin-spin splitting. Splitting, if it is more than one peak, then it depends upon the neighboring protons, and it is given by n+1 rule. And the splitted signal has an intensity according to Pascal's triangle, and the set of peaks is called a multiplet. If it is into 2, doublet, 3, triplet, and so on. So further, there are some rules of splitting. A signal will be split into how many or will it be splitted or not? It is given by a set of rules. First is, it is the equivalent protons do not couple with each other. So if there are only equivalent protons, then the signal will not be splitted and it will be a singlet. And hydrogen does not cause splitting with itself, but only with the neighboring protons. That is, only neighboring protons cause the splitting of a signal. Signal split according to 2ni plus 1, where I is half for proton, because we are doing only proton NMR signal, so it is only half, that is by n plus 1 rule, where n is already done number of neighboring protons. If we have n number of magnetically equivalent hydrogens causing splitting, then we have n plus 1 peaks in the spectrum. N is neighboring protons plus 1. So n plus 1 rule is applied on the splitting of a particular peak, and must be within a short distance to allow the small magnetic field of one hydrogen to affect the magnetic field of another, and the hydrogens must be on the adjacent carbons. Splitting is observed if the protons are separated by more than 3 s bonds, that is sigma bonds. Splitting is observed if the protons are separated by more than 3 peaks, then there will be no splitting. And splitting of signal depend on neighboring protons. This we already done. So n plus 1 rule is explained with a particular example. Suppose if we have C having 2 hydrogens, means here is a bond, here is also a bond, but the atoms are not hydrogens. So if suppose the more bonds are present but that do not have hydrogens are not attached directly to this. So if suppose one hydrogen is present here, 2 hydrogens are present in this carbon, so the signal of this proton has 2 neighboring protons, so the rule is n plus 1, neighboring protons plus 1. So neighboring protons are 2 plus 1, that is 3. So signal will be split into 3, that is it will give triplet. Now in this, these 2 protons will give a peak due to neighboring proton is 1, so 1 plus 1 2. So these protons will give a signal that will be split into 2, because 1 proton is present, 1 plus 1 2, so 2 doublet will be given. So this hydrogen will give a triplet due to this, and this proton will give also these protons will give doublet due to this single hydrogen. So the n plus 1 rule explains how multiplet is present due to these 2 protons. This will give triplet and this will give due to 1 hydrogen doublet. So n plus 1 rule, neighboring protons plus 1, that is 2 plus 1 3. In this neighboring protons 1, so 1 plus 1 2 doublet. So if we take up this example, in this 2 chlorides are present, in this 1 chloride, so in this carbon 1 proton is attached, to this carbon 2 hydrogens are attached. So now first we see the signal. So in this, first is this proton, that is these protons have neighboring HB 1 proton is there, that is 1 plus 1 2. These protons will give doublet means 2 signals, 2 lines. This is 2 peaks due to 1 proton neighboring proton present. There is a 2 peaks. Now this hydrogen have 2 neighboring protons, so 2 plus 1 3. So this will give 3 lines, that is 3 signals, 1 2 3, 3 peaks. So in HA protons will give 2 peaks and Hb protons will give 3 peaks. Now, why this gives 2 peaks? Because this proton will have either the moment upward or downward. Upward, there has a 2 probabilities, upward or downward. So upward and downward will have equal probability. So this height of signal peaks is same. Now in this case, there are 2 neighboring protons. 2 neighboring protons can either have upward direction movements, downward, or one upward downward, other upward, second downward. So there are 1 possibility, 2 possibilities, 1:2:1. So in this, these 2 extreme sides will have less height, and this 2 probability will have height more than extreme side signals. So in this, this will have 2 peaks of same height, in this 3 peaks, and that will be of 1:2:1 ratio. Here 1:1 ratio, here 1:2:1 ratio, which depends upon the orientation of electrons direction. So next is this. Now we can see there is one proton. So this will give, we have given these peaks only due to splitting of signal of HA. Now this HA has only one neighboring proton, 1 plus 1, that is 2. It will give 2 signals, 1:1. There will be 2 peaks. Now in this case, HA has 2 protons, 2 plus 1, that is 3. So it has 1, 2, 3, and that is in the 1:2:1 ratio, because both these hydrogens can have upward direction movements or downward, and one probability is the one can have upward, second downward, or the one before having upward can have downward and other upward. So 1:2:1 ratio, so 1:1. So in this case, if the proton has 3 neighboring protons, 3 neighboring protons means 3 plus 1, 4. It will give now 4 peaks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 peaks. Now the ratio, the proportion of this peak area will be, now the 3 protons can have upward, can have downward. Now probability of having 2 upward or 2 downward, this extreme downward or these front downwards. So the probability is 1:3:3:1. So the neighboring protons, if there is one neighboring proton, the signal is split in 2 peaks. If 2 neighboring, then into 3, 1:2:1. If 3 neighboring protons, then 3 plus 1, 4. It has 4 peaks. So the signal or peaks in a signal depends upon the neighboring protons, which we can easily explain by this example. Now, or we say, if there's a no hydrogen present in a adjacent, so this will give only one line, one peak. If there is a one neighboring proton, then 2 doublet. If there are 2 neighboring protons, then triplet, 3. If 3 neighboring protons, then quartet, 4 lines. So this intensity of splitting can be given by number of equivalent protons causing splitting. If there is a no proton present on the neighboring carbon, then there will be singlet, one signal. If there are one neighboring proton, then 1 plus 1 doublet, 1:1 ratio, which we have seen in previous examples. If there are 2 neighboring protons, then 2 plus 1 triplet, 1:2:1 ratio. And if it is 3 neighboring protons, then signal will be 3 plus 1 4 quartet. 1:3:3:1 ratio. If there are neighboring 4 protons, then 4 plus 1, 5, that is quintet, that is in the ratio 1:4:6:4:1 ratio, which we can see in Pascal triangle further. Now if they are neighboring 5 protons, then 5 plus 1, 6, sextet signal, and the ratio will be this. If there are 6 neighboring protons, then septet, 6 plus 1, 7, 7 is septet, and then the ratio will be this. This can be easily explained by this Pascal's triangle, in which we can find out the relative intensities of the peaks of a signal. If there are no 1, if 1:1 ratio, if 2, 1:2:1 ratio, if 3, then 1:3:3:1 ratio, then if 4, 1:4:6:4:1 ratio. This we can easily write by first as this one, then then we have to write 1, 1, 1 on the extreme sides, and now 1, 1, 2, or we add up the number 1 plus 1, 2, then 2 plus 1, this 3, similarly this 2 plus 1, it is 3, and if it is this 3 plus 1, 4, and adding this center number 6, and then adding this 3 plus 1, 4, and so on. We can easily write the intensities in which the peaks in a signal can be present. There are some exceptions to the n+1 rule. So we can say that if the protons are equivalent, that is, these are equivalent and they are also symmetrical, in that case there will be no splitting. And similarly in this case, that is, this proton will not be split by due to this proton, and this proton signal will not be split by this. That is, there will be a one signal. In this case also there will be no splitting. And if the hydrogens are present on the same carbon, on the same atom, then again there's a no splitting. It's all about the spin splitting. Then we will continue with next topic in the next lectures. Thank you.